So I'm thinking about sex, and I'm thinking as I go here, and I don't really know what I'm gonna say, but there's something on my mind about sex, and what it is that I'm thinking sex is not a big deal. It is not as big a deal as I've made it in my life, and I'm struggling to understand now why I gave it such a high priority in my life. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate that sex is fun. It's a fun activity, and it's great to be having sex. But it comes down to a basic question: so what? As good as it is it worth the priority I gave it in my life? And I'm finding the answer is no. It isn't worth as much respect I gave it. I simply valued it too highly, and I made it a priority in how I did things way too much. It simply isn't worth the amount of thought, time, and effort and money I've spent going clubbing and dating and all that business. I struggle now to understand why I valued it so much. So I'm in an injury situation, and one of the consequences is that I'm not having sex at the moment. I'm not involved with a woman. But I'm thinking I'm not bothered by it. It's not a problem for me to not be having sex. It's just a thing. And I'm very glad to not be bothered, not be frustrated or anything. I've been there and done that and bought the t-shirt. Bought two t-shirts. But it doesn't matter. It is just a thing that is not happening right now, but it's not a big deal. And I'm amazed by my history and why I've given sex such a high priority in my life. Um, I don't think it deserves it now. Now that it isn't happening in my life, it's made me realize that it doesn't deserve the priority I've given it. And I'm disappointed in myself for pursuing it so much in my life as if it was such a big deal. I'm very glad to be thinking of other things to prioritize in life now. I've yet to decide what these other priorities are, but the point is I'm fine to be thinking about other things. And I suppose what I'm saying here is keep in mind if you value sex a lot, and believe me, I understand how good it is to be having sex, but it does come down to so what? It is a thing, but it is only a thing. And you need to be careful about how much priority you give it because there are consequences to pursuing sex, and it can, what's the word? It can occupy your thoughts too much. It can prioritize in your life too much. It just doesn't deserve so much attention and effort. Um, so I'm finding that I don't miss sex at the moment. It's not a problem. And it has led me to think of why I valued it so much. It is very strange, and it's obviously nature doing its thing to get more people in the world. And I think that I'm not happy with myself for having been used by nature, basically, to achieve a purpose. And it's making me think, I wasn't in control of myself properly. Nature was just using me to fulfill a purpose. So it is strange to be thinking this way, but I'm glad to not be feeling miserable about not having sex at the moment. I'm wondering actually if I'll go for sex at all in my life again. If I want to have sex again, do I want to have a relationship with a woman again? To be honest, I doubt it. I'm thinking I don't think I want to be doing that anymore. Um, Currently, I'm not seeing it as a good use of time and the wrong focus on my energy. And I don't want to have any more children. That's a fact. And I'm not in control of that process properly. So I'm thinking that I won't be having sex again in my life. And I'm also thinking that it doesn't bother me. It's not a huge problem. It's just a thing that won't be happening in my life again, and it comes down to so what? It doesn't bother me, and I'm so grateful for that.